Hello everyone, it is me, Kimiko Tarot, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing an April love predictions. We have 3 piles. I'm going to first show you the back of the deck, and then I'm going to show you a card from each deck, and then I'm going to pick crystals. So that way, I feel like we kind of are hitting all the niches. My friend really likes the one card showing, so that's also why I started doing that. But here we are. Okay, so we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And now I'm going to put the cards. And there's and here we are with the cards. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And I'll give you guys 1 second to pause and just to pick for this. And lastly, we're gonna do crystals. So I'm gonna flip these over because I'm annoying. And then we're gonna do some ASMR. Okay, so then these are all the piles with the crystals on it, and then I will show you each crystal zoomed in. So here we are. For pile 1, we have this lovely amethyst heart. Oh, wait. For pile 1, we have this lovely. For pile 1, we have this lovely amethyst heart. For pile 2, we have this lovely amazonite. And then for pile 3, we have this lovely piece of sodalite. Yep. And here are all the piles again. And I'll catch you in the reading. Okay. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the lovely piece of amethyst, let me zoom in, this lovely piece of amethyst, or I will put the name of the deck somewhere because I always forget what it's called. Then this is the reading for you. We're going to get into what April brings in love for you. Let's get first into a few oracles. I pulled them off camera because I do that because I'm lazy. And it just takes time and it's like a lot of shuffling and I don't know. Just let me live, okay? Let me live. So we're going to get into first the oracles and then we're going to get into the tarot. So first thing is the energy of you, and then this is just a little bit more we need to know about the love life for April. So the energy of you is hummingbird. So I can kind of tell that you're probably pretty excited for love, kind of excited to get back out there. Maybe you got out of a relationship recently, or like you're just excited to kind of just like date, get out there, maybe like see what the world has to offer when it comes to the taste of people. And I think that's really fun. I think that's really good. The thing with the hummingbird is like they're really joyous, they're really enthusiastic, they're really outgoing. Like I say for your love life this month, you probably want to be outgoing. And that really also depends on you. Like you can want to be outgoing and you can be in the energy of wanting to go out and wanting to find love, but you also have to do that to find it. So if you're in the energy, use energy to your benefit. Why not? Maybe a miracle will happen. But for your energy, I can definitely tell that you're very excited, you're very happy. I definitely think you want to go out more. I definitely think you want to have more fun. Like, I definitely think you're just excited for life again. Like, there's something here that just feels excited for life. Like, the hummingbird's small, petite, but, like, the way it flaps its wings, like, so much energy. It's exciting. I think you're excited, and that's really good. And then I asked, like, obviously for these, just like, what else do we need to, like, know about April for love? Miracle and instinct. I think, again, instinct will tell you a lot. 1, listen to your gut. If someone doesn't feel right, I think that's your body being like, boo, it ain't right. And like, I think when you know, you know, you know. Because my thing is sometimes I'll know, like, this person's not for me. And I'll still like go on a date because like I'm stupid. Or like I'll know like, oh, you know what, I know they're like, they don't have the best intentions for me. But like, I'm just so interested. It's like the chase, I'll still go. That's the thing with instinct. If you know that it's just the chase, maybe don't do it. But if you know, like, if you feel it, you know it, maybe it is it. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. I've decided it makes sense. But I definitely think you're excited. I definitely think there's something happening this April. I definitely think, you're excited to get back out there, excited to go out, you're excited to see things, you're excited to see if there's a miracle out there. I think the best thing, though, I think not even the best thing, I think the thing that this miracle is trying to say, also, angel number 33, hi, you've been saying 33 lately, this may be for you. But, like, the thing with miracle, especially being like, what else do we need about your love life for April? I mean, I think this may be a miracle month for you in the sense that maybe you may meet someone, or maybe this is also just the first time that you've also just been getting out there and just like thinking about what you want and thinking about like, well, what do I really need in a relationship? What do I really like in a relationship? Should I just go out on dates and see what people have to offer? And I think for you, that may be kind of a miracle. like that you're finally doing that. And then I also think with instinct and miracle next to each other, it's like, if you know something isn't right for you, then you should leave, because the other thing is, maybe if you don't, you're not going to meet up with this miracle. You know what I mean? If something isn't right for you and you know it's not, follow your instinct. If something is right for you, you know, follow your instinct. Because my thing is, it's going to lead to some miracle. Whether that miracle just be like getting back out there, whether that miracle just be feeling good in your skin, feeling good dating, or that miracle just be actually meeting someone. Regardless your energy this month, I can definitely tell you want to get back out there. You're definitely having fun. And even if it's not like, the thing with love is also so much more than just like romantic love. Obviously this is a romantic reading, but like for your love life, I definitely think you're being more out there, being more open, and just being seen. Maybe that's a miracle. Maybe it's a miracle that you're finally just going out and being seen. But also, like, the thing with this instinct miracle, I think possibly there could be a miracle there. There could be a miracle relationship. There could be just the miracle of finding yourself. There's just so many good things in this energy. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm also like, I always talk fast, but I'm like, oh, ready to go. So it's just like, oh, so exciting. Exciting. Okay, we're going to put these up here. You can see them. And then we're just going to go ahead and get into the tarot as well. Because I'm just going to do it in one go because I'm crazy. Okay, let's shuffle. Oh, let's see. Think about your love life forever. Okay. Let us see. Lettuce, tomato, onion. Okay, sorry, I'm just so excited. Oh my god, have you guys ever seen Too Hot to Handle? And there's that one scene where she's like, why are you giggling so much? It's like, because I'm just so horny. I don't know if I can say that word. So it just, because I'm so corny. Or just, you know. I love that. I don't know why that just popped in my head randomly. Maybe you guys are just giggling so much because you're just so corny. Anyways, so here, let's find out about your love life in April. Can you tell me what pile ones are doing? Well, interesting. What can you tell me about pile one's love life in April? Okay, I think 3. Okay, we're gonna put them in the order that they. Oh, T. We're back. I'm a mess. Okay, so let's get into what your love like is. What your love like is. Yep. One more time. What your love life is like in April. King of Wands, let's start there. There could be a man that feels like a king. Oh, T. So King of Wands, right? Especially followed up with the Ten of Swords when I was saying instinct and miracle. Maybe like, again, the thing that you need to remember is that like if something doesn't feel right, you need to cut it, because if not, it could feel like 10 swords in your back. If you meet someone and they feel kind of like, because King of Wands energy sometimes, while hot, it sometimes can also be very, how do I put this? Dead? Like sometimes it's kind of like, King of Wands sometimes can be a little bit like Trump. Do you know what I mean? Like a little bit egotistical, a little bit narcissistic, a little bit hot-headed, a little bit me. And sometimes that, while is like kind of, especially if you're someone who likes to heal people, or you're someone that like really likes like, I don't know, really kind of addicted to that type of love, where it's a kind of a love bombing type thing, that's a kind of King of Wands energy sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. In this case, I feel like it kind of is. If you meet someone like that, I think you should cut it, because it's not good for you. And if you do cut it, you'll finally be happy and see the sun, and you'll be more balanced within yourself, right? Because like the thing is, right, with miracle, and even when I was saying, like, I was like, maybe it isn't a person. In this sense, in this way this is going, I don't think the miracle is meeting a person, but I think the miracle may be actually finally like finding yourself, seeing what you want in love, seeing what you want like to actually have in a relationship. Because Queen of Pentacles is such a energy of being so stable in yourself, and so like assured of yourself, and so nurturing and so loving. And then to have them in the back of the deck, like, and in front of it the sun, which is the most positive like major arc card you could ever have. It's so positive, it's so happy. This is like fulfillment, this is happiness, this is the miracle. And look at this orange and this orange. Oh my god, miracle. I think this miracle may be finally also figuring out what you actually want in a relationship, like following your instinct of what actually you're attracted to, maybe also following your instinct of like what you actually want, also following your instinct of like putting down boundaries and being this outgoing social person that you're supposed to be, and realizing like what is this Queen of Pentacles to you? What is this stable person to you? What is like love to you? What is this nurturing energy to you? What do you want to be at the end of the day? And at the end of the day, I think you want to be this Queen of Pentacles, regardless of your gender. I think you want to be this stable person. I think you want to be this nurturing, loving person. This like, I don't want to say like family maker, but kind of like a family maker in the sense that like you are the person that's stable. You are the person that like people come to at the end of the day. You are the person that like people turn to. It's something that's really like loving and caring and nurturing. And that's beautiful. And anyone that doesn't see that in you, they can walk away because you're stunting. But definitely with King of Wands and Ten of Swords, any of this like really narcissistic energy that you feel, or any of this like really toxic like energy that's like where it's me, you need to cut it, because that's what's going to lead you to your miracle. That's what's going to lead you to feeling amazing in your love life. You can't keep with these people that just take, because you're going to just feel these 10 swords. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're just going to feel 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as they just keep throwing them at you. If you want to feel like the true happiness and the miracle and the love and everything that you want, you're going to have to find it, obviously, but you can't find that if you're with Mr. Senor D head, obviously, Senor D bag. Like, you can't find this sun if you're still with Senor D bag. So like, you're gonna have to cut it. And the thing with instinct too is like, if you see someone that is this type of energy, like, cut it, because then you'll find this miracle, you'll find this happiness, especially because these are kind of like sitting on top of each other. Like, obviously it's the way that the cards came out, like sun could have came out here, you know what I mean? So like, this is the energy of like, if you want a miracle and you want your miracle, you do have to get rid of the toxic people in your life. And I think if you're since you're in this such a loving, outgoing, and joyous energy, I don't think this is going to be very hard for you, especially because it's followed up by so many positive cards. I think this is going to become almost instinctual to you. When you feel someone that isn't right, bye, you're not for me. Because you know what? It's not for you. If someone doesn't respect you, get rid of it, because it ain't for you, sweetie. Because let me tell you something. You know what's hot? Respect. You know what's not hot? Disrespect. And you know what? Disrespect. And when you cut it, you know what you're left with? The Sun and the Queen of Pentacles, and nothing but happiness. So like, why are we even keeping these here? Do you know what I mean? I think I've ranted enough. I'm really bad at like these endings for readings, but basically what I'm trying to say is, if you feel someone in your life that's just not good for you and you know they're not good for you, it's time to cut them out, because honestly, that's a miracle in itself, and that's what's going to lead to your true happiness. Even a moment of feeling like sad because you cut someone that you thought you really liked, or someone that was good for you, the feeling of being free on the other side because you don't have their energy. You don't have to be in the anxiety of like, what do they want? Did I make them mad? Did this make them mad? Did I say this wrong? Is this wrong? There's no anxiety there anymore because they're gone. You don't need that energy, and all you're left with is true happiness. You'll be able to go out without being anxious. You'll be able to go have fun without being anxious. You'll be surrounded by people that love you without being anxious. My thing is, if someone isn't good for you, they're not meant for you. So get rid of them. And that's your energy in your love life for April. It's, if you meet someone, get rid of them, because guess what? If you do, you'll finally meet either the person you're supposed to be with that will actually make you feel good. B, you'll find out what you really want in a relationship and start setting those boundaries and actually find people that respect those things. And then you will find someone that is a miracle to you because they treat you with respect. And 3, like, if you cut a person out who isn't good for you, like, you will be able to also find your own center of balance, like your own, like, because you're not catering to their negative energy anymore. It's just your positive energy, you know? So get rid of it. That's your love reading, boo. Thank you for joining me. I'm really bad at these segues. I'm gonna get better at it, trust me, I promise. Soon it's gonna be flawless, and it's probably never gonna be like that, but soon it's gonna be so, the ease of that segue, you're gonna be like, damn, stunning. But that's your April. It's really happy, and it is really happy as long as you just like make sure you keep those boundaries, and also like you love yourself and you make sure that you follow your gut, because your gut is not wrong, trust me. Do you know what I mean? That's what you need to know. That's what you need to hear, boo. Get into it. Yeah, like this is like really good energy. Like, this is really good energy to be in, and I'm really happy that you're in this energy, because I'm so excited literally sitting here. But like, this is the energy you want to be in. This is the energy for you, and this is great. So like, cut out the people that are not giving to this energy. And that's a T, pile 1. That's a T. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you want me to do in the next video, because I like it. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the on the screen deck or the Amazonite, then this reading is for you. Okay, before we get into the tarot, we are going to first do a few oracles that I pulled off camera, and just because I'm lazy. So here they are. We're going to get into it. Very, very good cards, if I must say. If I can scoop this over so it's even, that would be nice. Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is getting into your tarot reading. let's get into oracles. So the energy of your, okay, so this is the energy of you, and this is everything else we need to know kind of about your month of April for your love life. So let's get into the energy of you. So what's interesting is that the elk and the octopus together, how I'm feeling about your energy is because the octopus is supposed to be kind of someone who doesn't really have bounds. Like they don't really have boundaries. They kind of just like let people kind of go in. But they're very creative, very like psychic, and very magical. Very smart though, because again, octopuses are extremely intelligent. The elk though is someone who's kind of extremely stubborn, kind of like a father figure, very like set in their ways, is very like knows himself really well, and very just knows himself very, very well. So them together, it's kind of interesting because I feel like this month may be the month that you're finally kind of setting down boundaries and actually sticking to them. Like the elk will put down a boundary and the elk will actually stick to it. But then the interesting part with the octopus also being on the other side, it's kind of like having two opposing things on both sides kind of almost feels like a little bit like, not like Gemini energy, but kind of Gemini energy where it's kind of split in the sense that while you have these really strong bounds, you obviously know that boundaries are boundaries and they really shouldn't be like bent in a certain way, but you're a little bit more lenient on certain things. Like if someone doesn't get a boundary the first time, you're not going to cut them off immediately because you know that everyone kind of deserves more than just one chance. So that's something I really do appreciate with this combination right here, because alone it's kind of like just separate, it's, I'm going to be real, it's not like the best. It's kind of like very while creative and there are good parts of the octopus, it's someone who really doesn't have a lot of boundaries and they kind of just let anyone come in, and they're kind of like anyone that comes near them kind of feels like an energy vampire where they just kind of suck everything out of you. Versus the elk will never let anyone do that. They're a father figure. They're someone who's in their ways, or someone who's like, just, I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you, and it is what it is. You respect me or you get out is kind of the energy of an elk. But having them both here kind of feels like the happy medium where it's, you have boundaries, you understand sometimes people mess up, but you stick to them and you tell them why they messed up. And that's really beautiful. Like it's the beauty between being like this father figure and then also being lenient enough to also understand that sometimes people mess up, which I think is great. Like I think it's a really nice energy to be in. And I think also with the octopus and the elk, it's like you're learning the balance between the two. When do people deserve to be cut off? When has a boundary been lax too much, like has been too lax? When has someone crossed it too many times? Do you know what I mean? When has someone kind of played, even if they haven't crossed it, when have they played too much on the line? Do you know what I mean? And I think this is the first time that you're actually going to have boundaries and understand how to set them and also communicate things. And I think that's great. The other thing with what you need to know about your April is abundance and romantic love. Like, boo, I think there's going to be a lot of abundance. I think there's going to be a lot of abundance in your romantic life and your romantic love. I think if you actually stick to these boundaries and you have them and you understand like where they should kind of go and also like how they should be, then yeah, I think you can have a lot of abundance in your life and especially romantic life. Do remember though, that if you just don't do anything, you can't find romantic love. Like it's not just going to come out of the sky. You do have to go do things. Like the elk, they actually make their own movement. Do you know what I mean? They don't just like remain in the same place. They make the movement. So if you want abundance in your romantic love, it is definitely possible, especially with this energy of being able to be in the area where you obviously have boundaries, where you obviously are putting those down, and you're also like obviously to the point where you're also being like, okay, you can't cross this certain boundary. It is what it is. But I understand that if you messed up, like, and we talk about it and you're genuinely sorry, 100% I'll forgive you and we can move past and we can work on it together. And that's a beautiful energy to be in here. And romantic love is definitely possible for you, and you can be very abundant with your romantic love if you, one, keep to your boundaries, two, tell people when they're crossing them, and three, also make sure you try to also go get yourself out there and go out and find love. Like, it's not just going to come to you randomly. You do have to go find it. But I think if you want love this month, you definitely can have it, especially with all this really positive cards. The only thing Spirit's kind of saying is make sure you don't just hang out with people that suck your energy out, and also make sure that you keep to your boundaries. And if you need space, like you need space. If you need a little bit of room, you need a little bit of room. Like let them know that. Be stuck to your boundaries, but also don't be mean about it. Obviously, I don't think you would be, but like, you can be really abundant with your love life if you stick to your boundaries, if you have boundaries, if you're willing to talk about it, and if you're, telling them what's up. And you know what? This energy is telling me you are telling me what's up. So thank you for telling me what's up. Let's get into the tarot. Yeah, so basically, you can have a lot of abundant love. You just have to stick to your boundaries, girl. Or boy. That don't matter. Okay, we're gonna leave these out. It's gonna be covered by the tarot anyways, but it is what it is. Let's find out what is pile two's love life like for April. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on. Okay. Let's see. One more, please. Okay, yeah, it's pretty clear. It's exactly what I thought. Woo. Okay, especially with the elk and then the octopus, I can see what I mean by like what I was saying, like kind of sticking to those boundaries and also understanding. 4 of Coins sometimes to me can feel a little bit control freaky. So like, and I think it's also the balance between being so on the other side of the elk where it's like, my boundaries are rigid, and then being on the other side of the octopus where it's like, I have none. You can't just be, the thing with the energy of the elk and the octopus is you have to work them together. Working them separately on like each spectrum isn't going to do any good. It's going to make it really confusing for anyone you're with. But you can't be super rigid and then be super lax. You have to meet in the center where it's like, obviously you understand people make mistakes, but you also like have to tell them you made a mistake, you have to apologize for it, and here's the boundary. Do you know what I mean? You can like, you have to be emotionally mature with this. And the thing with 4 of Coins, why cups? No, Sarah. 4 of Coins is like, again, it does feel like sometimes a bit of like a control freak and almost like holding on to like something that you hopefully so you don't lose it. And I think that's the other thing. You don't need to hold on to things that aren't worth your time. But at the same time, like, don't try to control something just because like it's not, because a person isn't in your control. You can't control them. So kind of let go of that fear. Have your boundaries, and if someone isn't willing to ever listen to them or willing to stick to them or even always just completely goes over them all the time, obviously that person isn't for you, and you need to hit that down and say like, nope, I have so much abundance in my romantic life right now that I know I can find someone else that's better than you. Do you know what I mean? You have to stick to that boundary and let them know that. With Page of Cups and then the 4 of Coins being next to each other, it is, again, you have to kind of, with Page of Cups to me, sometimes it can feel a little bit like emotional immaturity in a sense that you have to be emotionally mature about this. If you want abundance in your romantic life, you do have to be emotionally mature and be in the center of the octopus and the elk, whereas you have boundaries and you understand that these are my boundaries, and that when someone crosses them, how to also tell them that they've crossed it, but also forgive them for crossing it. You can't just cut them off after the first time if they don't know, especially. And that's the other thing. You have to offer, like, also with the 4 of Coins too, and then the Page of Cups, sometimes this also could be like an offer of love or something coming through that's like an offer of something. So also for your love life, especially romantic love and abundance, you may be getting a lot of offers of love, which is quite nice. I would like to pick this pile. But you can't just be like so controlling about it. You do have to have boundaries and control it, obviously, but don't be so on the elk where it's like, nope, bye, you did it once, bye, and like don't tell anyone, just dip. You can't do that. No, that's not going to get you anywhere. That's emotional immaturity. If you want to be emotionally mature about it, you have to be balanced between the octopus and the elk. You have to be balanced between these two. The other thing with Justice too, it's like, it's kind of like what you get is what you put in is what you get. So again, if you want romantic love and you want a lot of this abundance, you may have to actually go out and get it. The other thing though with Page of Wands at the end of the deck, again, abundance with romantic love, I don't really necessarily know if this is like a lot of abundance with love, but maybe a lot of abundance with like, you know, romantic fun, like maybe going on a lot of dates, you may be having a little, like maybe putting yourself out there more and like kind of testing those waters of putting down your boundaries and seeing what people have to offer. Do you know what I mean? Not trying to control things and trying to remain a little bit more balanced and having fun and just being out there. And like with all this abundance in your romantic love, maybe it is just having a lot of quite literally abundance, as in lots of dates, lots of different people, and lots of just fun and just getting to know people and just understanding how to put down a boundary and what kind of boundaries you even want and how to not control things and how to, like, you know, let go of some immaturity that you've had with relationships and just kind of become more balanced between these two energies of the elk and the octopus. Because when you're balanced again between these two energies of the elk and the octopus, you have boundaries and you stick to them, and you have this sense of you that's like father-like, that is something that people rely on, it's wise. And then with octopus, if you have the nice balance between it, it's not just so stubborn, so rigid, so like this is it, this is it, this is it. With octopus, you know, they're wavy, they're in the ocean, they're, you know, they're boundless. That's whole thing, right? No boundaries. They're boundless. They're smart. They're intelligent. They're beautiful. They're this creative, mystical creature. But sometimes people see that creative, mystical creature and they just kind of step all over it. but no one steps all over the elk, obviously, because you can't. But then there's that beautiful area of having balance between that, where it's like, obviously you're this mystical creature because you can't lose yourself in that because that's who you are. But obviously being able to put down those boundaries and also not to control the situation and to be a little bit more emotionally mature will give you this abundance in love, and will also give you like what you kind of just like maybe need to figure out what you want, you know? Just is all about balance. It's all about, you know, some of people say karma, but I'm not feeling really karma here. It's really just about finding balance and finding that balance between the elk and finding the balance between the octopus energy and, you know, finding what you want and having this abundance in love. I think you may, if you want, you could have like, even also Page of Wands sometimes could also be just like abundance in your own love, if you know what I mean, at night. Maybe figure that out too, boo. But like, my thing is, you can have a lot of abundance in your love. I don't think it's going to be like possibly like for some of you, maybe, but I'm going to be a majority of you, it's probably just going to be more like dates and fun, and that's good energy to be in. Why not have fun and enjoy it? And like, also it's a good time to test out what you want and how to set down boundaries and like how to actually accurately decide when someone isn't following them. And that's beautiful. And so I think this month is a lot about finding about yourself, finding about that abundant energy in yourself, also like finding self-love, and also like kind of like deciding what do you want in love, and like trying not to control things so much and giving up a little bit more of like that emotional immaturity to become a little bit more balanced. And then also like just having fun. That's super great. You can have a great love life as long as you're willing to find the balance between the elk and the octopus. But at the same time, if you're just finding the balance between it, you probably have to, you know, test the waters a bit. And that's the great thing about life. You have the whole journey of it to figure it out. Yeah, so that's the reading. That's your energy that's your love life for the month of April. It's just honestly having a lot of fun, kind of finding the balance between these two energies and trying not to control things and being a little bit more emotionally mature and just having fun and seeing what is out there, seeing like the abundance of love and seeing like what kind of romantic love is out there and just seeing what the people have to offer. Figure out what the people have to offer. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be fun. As long as you know. Oh, Knight of Cups. Cute. That's really cute. Oh, yeah, you guys can have everything as long as you're willing to stick to what you want. Stick to that energy. Stick to it. Yeah. So I think you can have like a lot of abundance and love and a lot of fun if you just, you know, stick to that boundaries and, you know, understand. You can have all this abundance. Okay, as usual, I'm terrible at ending things. So here is the end of your reading. I hope you liked it. If it was not helpful at all, let me know. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose this tarot deck or the sodalite, then this reading is for you. Before we get into the reading, we're going to get into some oracles that I pulled off camera because it takes time. And here are the oracles. Okay. Are these even? Whatever, they're good enough. Okay. Let's get into the reading. Okay, let's get into your energy. So the first thing, let's get into your energy. Oh, wow. Okay, you're hearing it. It is. She's back. Okay, so let's get into the energy of you. So first thing, we have Lamb and Hawk. Now, the first thing I can say about your energy for this month is I think you may be kind of taking maybe a step back. I think maybe I think there's two streams to this. Either A, you've learned kind of like the truth about a situation or about someone recently, or you've come to the truth of something, or like the truth of a connection for something. And that either came from like a friend, or maybe it came from someone else, or just it came from somewhere. Like, because the hawk is like a messenger of the divine, and then the lamb is also like a truth seeker, patient. So it's like your energy for this month is like I think you've realized something in love, either from a relationship or something about a relationship. And right now you're just kind of understanding that, and you're being patient with it, and you're just thinking about it. Like either you're thinking about like what that relationship meant, or B, like what did you learn from that relationship, or what did that relationship teach you, or what is even the meaning of that relationship. I think, especially with universal love and impartiality here, I think a lot of this month is just about, you know, your own self-love and loving yourself and finding that. And also like impartiality is also just being impartial to like what comes your way and impartial to what you hear. Like I think if you hear something from someone, especially if it's someone being like a message, with the hog being a messenger from the divine, if you hear someone in your love life this month kind of say something that almost really kind of resonates really deeply with you, I think that is a message from spirit. And you need to be also, one, impartial of where it comes from, and two, impartial how that lesson or that thing comes about. Because I think, oh, 4-4, haha, universal love. I just realized angel number. Because my thing is, this month for love, you may learn a lesson, and I think you need to be like open to that, or B, you're going to come to some type of truth about some relationship, about what you want in love, and that's going to help you realize what you want in love. With these two energies being here, like the lamb and the hawk, like these are both about almost taking, like the hawk comes in to swoop in and like tell you something from the divine and give you a message from the divine, versus the lamb is someone that is patient. They're stepping back and almost like it's something like an old friend, almost like an energy of like an old friend tells you something and you're just like, oh, that's so wise, why didn't I listen, why didn't I think of that earlier, type of energy. Like this energy for you this month, I think, is a lot about self-love and a lot of just whatever comes by, like understanding that it's probably a lesson and just being okay with that, because lessons are really important in life, and like you can't know what you want out of love too if you don't learn anything from past relationships and from past love. And I think that's a big part of it, that you need to learn from past relationships what you want, from past relationships what is important. And I think you need to learn like exactly what you want and what you want in love and how to love. And I think that's really important, especially in anyone. Like I think something has told you and something has opened your eyes to a relationship and opened your eyes to what love is and opened your eyes to things. And I think now you want universal love. Like you want love that is like, no matter what, it's there. Do you know what I mean? It's unconditional too. And like with impartiality, I think it's like you need to be open to also how this comes about and how this lesson comes about. I think for you this month has a lot to do with learning about love and learning about what love you want, and also learning about, what energy is for you and what energy isn't for you. I think especially with lamb and hawk, like a lot of it has to do with the messages that are like the energy for you is like what messages are coming to you, you need to listen to. And you need to be also like open to those messages, because maybe some of them aren't exactly the messages that you want to hear. Maybe they're like, this person isn't good for you, or this person, it wasn't the one for you. Maybe that's something you don't want to hear and that's something you don't want to accept. But I think this month is something for you to accept that and for you to learn from that. So I don't know if necessarily this month is full of like actual dating so much of like, and it could be too, like also learning those lessons from dating and learning those, like being impartial to things that you learned through dating. But I don't know if this month is really the month that you're gonna like find the one. Like, gonna be honest here, probably not. You're gonna probably find a piece of poop. But like, it's a lesson. And regardless, like, it may not even be like finding a piece of poop, obviously. It may just be like realizing that what you want from past relationships, and also realizing like what, like just like being open to the lesson, open to the words that people have to say, and open to like the actual things that come through. Because the thing is, that is what's going to get you to where you want to go in life, and also in your love life. My thing with the lamb too is like, they're patient, they're calm, and they're waiting, and they're okay with that, and they're learning. And I think that's what's really important for you this month, is to learn what you want in love and to learn from past mistakes. And if you make mistakes this month, learn from those. And if someone makes a mistake, learn from their mistake. Well, what did they do wrong, and how should I not repeat their mistake? And how can I also like, I don't know, just like how can you learn from what they've done too? Like you just need, I think this month is a lot about learning for you, and a lot about staying open, and a lot about staying open to universal love in the sense of like friendship, and also like that, and platonic love, and also like what universal love do you really want, and what kind of love do you really want? Because the other flip side of this is obviously being open to like a love that you just weren't really necessarily ready for, or being open to a love that you just didn't think was gonna happen. But for majority of you, I think this love that's coming in this energy for you for this month is really just learning about yourself and learning about what you want, and being open to that, and being open to different types of love, and being open to the love that comes, and also being open to like what people say to you, and being open to what is said, and also like just really listening to yourself and listening to what you want. And I think that's really important. And you need to be open to the different types of love that come through, and open to the different types of people that come to you, because they may impact you the hardest, and they also may be the person that maybe you do end up with. But I think this month is really honestly just about learning about yourself and learning to love yourself and learning to like say, what do you want from a relationship, and learning like, well, what messages have I been receiving this month, and like how should I be open to that. I think also this month there may be like a lot of downloads coming to you that I think you need to be open to. Like maybe they come from a friend, maybe they come from spirit, maybe they come from like a dream, but I think you need to be open to what comes to you. Yeah. Okay, I hope that was enough for that. Let's get into le tarot. Sorry. That makes sense. I think I'll do it. That was a really shuffle. Okay. We're just going to leave these out because I like them out. And let's see. What is pile 3's life in? I'm trying to get the shuffling more in camera. One more, please. Thank you. Okay. We're going to leave these ones out, and then this one is first. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is pretty clear. Okay. I like how I just cover up all of them with it, and so I don't know why I keep them out, but just let me live, okay? I could probably also like get it so it's all, you could see all of them, but like I just let me live this time, okay? It is what it is. You know what? You're gonna be the only group that I get rid of these. Sorry guys, I've decided this is how it is. Okay, we're back. Except I probably never left. Okay, let's get into it. Yeah. Sorry, okay, this month for your love life, I definitely, again, Nine of Swords right here, a lot of anxiety, and I definitely think a lot of it is in your, kind of in your head, and like a lot of it is learning from like the anxiety that you felt and a lot of the things that you felt from the past. I think, again, like I said previously, that this month has a lot to do with learning and a lot to do with understanding what you want in love, and understanding like and accepting what has happened in love, and learning from past relationships and learning from past things. And I think you need to be open to that and open to the lessons that are coming this way and open to the anxiety that you feel too, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you go on a date with someone and you usually get really anxious, I think you need to learn, like, why am I getting so anxious? Why is this? And, like, maybe communicate with that the person, and maybe, like, learn how to be open about that and be open about those things in love, because, you know, that's what you need to do. And, like, my thing is, if you keep getting really anxious about love and you keep getting really anxious about going on dates, and maybe sit down and figure out, why am I getting so anxious about going on dates? And why am I getting so anxious about, like, seeing people? And why am I getting so anxious about that? Like, I think a lot of this month is self-reflecting. A lot of this month is being open to, like, mistakes you made, and being open to the mistakes that other people have made, and being open to what people have to offer you this month, because, again, every lesson is a chance to learn, you know what I mean? And you should learn from them, because why not? It's amazing. If not, then there was no point of that bad experience. Then you're just not going to learn anything. You're just going to continue to have same bad experiences. Learn from them, you know. Learn from your bad experiences, and don't make the same type of mistakes again. You know, if someone doesn't feel right in the first 10 seconds and you felt that prior, then, you know, listen to your gut and feel that. With Three of Pentacles being right here as well, I think, again, a lot of this is kind of like looking forward to the future and like kind of seeing things come in the sense of like, if you have felt really anxious and felt like it's been like a lot, it's kind of finally looking at the past and seeing like what the future has to offer, and like looking like, I've grown so much, right? And I put in all this work that now I can finally see it starting to pay off, especially with the Lovers right next to it. I know a lot of people think the Lovers is obviously like union and soulmates, but there's nothing really here showing me or indicating to me that this is the Lovers. This to me is a choice. And that choice is to be in yourself, and to be like loving, and to be caring, and to be understanding, and to also learn. It's a choice to learn from your past, you know? If you want to see what the future has to offer and look forward to the future, well, you have to accept the past and learn from it. You know, why am I getting anxious? Why am I in my head? You know, why is that happening when I go on dates? Well, maybe you need to look to the future. You need to learn. You need to, like, you know, if you want to look to the future, you have to look back to, like, why was I anxious? Why did I have anxiety? Why was this so much? Why did I feel like this dude was going to eat my head off? You know? he's not, he's chilling. He can't even touch you. You know what I mean? So like, what do you have to do to look to the future? What do you have to do to figure out in your past, like what hurt you? Well, I'm gonna put something here that explain what that. I'm just gonna say it. If you, yeah, lost my mind for a second. Okay, what I was trying to say is Three of Pentacles. Like, if you want to look to the future and to see what the future has to offer and what can come to you, then you have to look in the past to see what you can learn from it. And that's the decision for you to make. Do you want to be like harmonious and balanced? Do you want to just remain in this anxiety? That's something that you need to learn from. And I think that's something you need to build from. I think in the past, if you've had a lot of anxieties and you've had a lot of things that like, oh, I can't go on dates because I get nervous, or I can't go on dates because I get anxious, or I can't go on dates because like this and that, or even after you go on a date, you get super anxious, or even after, and like, let's say like their texting kind of slows down. You're like, why aren't they texting me? Are they texting me X, Y, Z? I think you need to learn from the past of like what that means and just kind of learn to accept what it is and like be impartial to sometimes people aren't there for the long time, they're there for the short time. And that's a lesson to learn. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why are you getting anxious about things? Why are you so in your head about things? And why are you like almost making things so much worse than they have to be? Do you know what I mean? You can learn from the past, and that's a choice. I know the levers always seem like soul and like soul connection, but there's nothing here indicating that at all. The levers right here is a choice. The lever right here is a decision. Do you want to be balanced? Do you want to be harmonious? Well, you have to learn from the anxiety that you felt. You can't be balanced and harmonious. You can't be with these, you can't be, you know, so, I guess, accepting and ready for love if you are so anxious and in your head all the time. Because one, that's not fair to your partner, because then it's like, obviously they're like, well, they may not be doing anything wrong, and then you're just like questioning them and they're like, I haven't done anything wrong. It's not fair to your partner as well. You have to understand, like, from your past mistakes and from your past relationships and from past things and from past hurts, why did that hurt me? What do I have here to learn? What can I do to push forward? What can I do to learn from the past anxieties? That way I can make a choice to be happy, to be harmonious, and to be in this beautiful like energy of temperance and patient and harmonious and balanced and so just so like ethereal, just so sitting in a beautiful, like sitting in like a pond with the waterfall flowing over you, just stunning fairy like. You know what I mean? To be in that type of energy, you have to make a choice to learn from your past anxieties and from your past relationships and the past things that have hurt you. And that's a lot about this, like about this month. Like we said, with lamb and hawk, right? Patience, finding things, a messenger from the divine. Take what the messages that you're getting and take them as what they are. Take them for what they are. If someone is being a d-hole, take that message for what it is. They're being a d-hole. Learn from your past mistakes, from your past anxieties. Cut them, because that's a choice. And now you're going to be more harmonious because you're not anxious about this person, because you know what it is. You've learned if they're not meant for you, they're not giving you the energy, they're not giving you the energy. Why are you giving them the energy back? Absolutely not. If someone wants you, they will tell you. And don't get me wrong, people have times, and that's the thing. If they really want you, they'll communicate with you. But if they're not, well, it's because they don't care enough. You know what I mean? Like, if they really were in a slump and they were really having a hard time, 100%. But they would communicate with that to you if they really cared about you. And that's the thing with the lamb and the hawk. Take the messages that you're getting and take them for what they are. And also, like, understand that you're supposed to learn this month from these past things. And you're supposed to really understand from the things that you've learned from your past love. And understand, what do you want from your love? You know, what do you want in love? And you have to, like, really, really say that. The universe is showing you so much love around. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's family, maybe it's just those around you. It doesn't have to be romantic this month, because this month has a lot to do with you just learning, a lot to do with you just figuring out what you want. And that's great energy to be in, because the thing is, once you get through that, and once you get through the anxiety and understanding why you have this anxiety about relationships, understanding where this stems from, and really working through those things, well, then you have a choice to be harmonious. You have a choice to be balanced. You have a choice to be in this beautiful energy. And that's where you want to be. You want to make that decision to get here. But to get here, you have to reflect of why you felt that way. You can never move on from the past if you never accept it, you never process it, you never learn from it, because then you're just going to make the same mistakes over and over again. And that's the thing Spirit's trying to tell you. You need to build on brand new ground. You need to build something that you want. And to build that, you have to understand what happened in the past and make that choice to be harmonious. Make that choice to be happy. And you know what? When you start to learn from these past anxieties and these past issues and these past relationships, and you decide, you build the foundation of what you want in a relationship, you can have something so beautiful and harmonious. You can have something so beautiful and loving, because you've realized what you want. You've realized your worth. You've realized what boundaries you have. You realized what anxiety it stems from. And when you have this anxiety too, and you realize, oh, well, this comes from this type of childhood wound, like maybe you were abandoned. So like abandonment wound is really big for you. And so like you need to communicate to your partner now. You know this, hey, I have like sometimes some insecurities with people like kind of pulling back, and you know, if you need space or something, I 100% get that, but I need you to let me know. And then that person's like, oh my god, 100%, I've been really busy with this week, that's why I've just been slow responding, I promise it's not you, let's set a date for this weekend and we'll grab dinner, that way we can catch up. That's how you build that energy, that's how you build that love, and that's how you build that harmony, by learning from your past mistakes and being like, I get anxious because of that abandonment wound. And if someone is willing, if someone likes you, they'll reply like that. If someone doesn't, they're not worth your time. And you know that now, because you know that if they're just triggering that childhood wound. And maybe that's why you wanted to be there too, because sometimes when you have so much comfort, especially if it's something like you're not used to like relying on people, sometimes unreliable people is what you think unconditional love is, because that's what your parents showed you. You know what I mean? But you have to learn that that's not what it is. And you have to learn what you want. And when you learn and you build that beautiful base, you can have this gorgeous life and this amazing love life. You just have to be able to learn from those past mistakes and those past anxieties and understand why you have them. And that's what your energy is this month, though. It's learning from and building something so beautiful and deciding to be harmonious and deciding to be balanced and deciding to be in this beautiful energy. And I think that's amazing. And Spirit thinks that's amazing. And I think this month is really going to be good for you. It may be hard at first, but it's needed. And that's important. Okay? Okay. Pile 3. That is the reading. Amazing month for you. You just have to learn a little bit more, and I know it's kind of painful, but like, don't worry, once you're through it, it's going to be so much better on the other side, so much more balanced. And trust me, it's going to be like, no one can take away from you after this, because you know that they weren't worth it. And also the other thing is, you know that when you see it, it's not on you, it's on them. And the other thing is, you will learn so much from this that like it won't, like, you will have such a good love life, because the boundaries are there. The anxiety you've learned from, you've built something great. And you know what, boo, you're gonna be so balanced, you're gonna be so good, you're gonna be beautiful, buttered up and beautiful. Okay, that is the reading. I love you guys, and thank you for joining me. And if you liked it, make sure you leave a like and comment and subscribe and tell me what I should do in the next video. And again, I gave everyone else it, so obviously I have to give you it. Some ASMR outro.